Good morning, everybody. It's Annette Densham here with Obsessed with Live. And this morning I have an extra special treat for you. One of my most favourite performers in the entire world. I think I'm a bit of a groupie. Today I'm joined by the very talented Jodie Joy. She is such a soulful pop artist. Her shows are amazing. She's so infectious. Her vocal ability is just mind-blowing. She has a resume that has seen her write and hone her craft with the likes of Daniel Johns from Savage Garden, wow, Hayden Bell from the Veronicas, Phil Burton from Human Nature, and so many other incredible artists, which only elevate her even more in my eyes. Please welcome Jodie Joy. Hey, Jodie.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, you sound pretty cool. Isn't it funny when you read your bio? Yeah, you go, oh.
My goodness.
Yes. Yeah, gee, I sound all right.
Yeah, I sound okay. Yeah, that was some time ago, writing music with those guys. But, yeah, it's certainly, helped me be a better songwriter, that's for sure.
It's quite incredible. Now, you've got an amazing pedigree in music. Like your grandfather was an opera singer, wasn't he? Donald Sidney Smith, OBE. So you got your singing chops from pretty good bloodline there.
I did. I was very lucky to be able to get this gift and also share it with my family as well, because my dad's a singer and they toured the world and they made their living out of being a professional opera singer. So it's lovely that my dad and my grandfather, we got to share that. My grandfather taught me to sing, and obviously my dad does too. And yeah, so we train together, play together. Good.
That's pretty awesome. So I imagine family gatherings around your house are filled with song and dancing and lots of moving and shaking.
Oh yeah. Well, I've actually got a studio underneath my parents' home, and so it's great. It's like a little recording studio. I'm in it right now, and so I run my music school out of here, and we also, it opens up to the pool area outside. So when we have parties here and family gatherings, it's pretty cool. We crank the music out of the studio and can hear it from miles down the street.
Did you at any time through your younger years, not that you're old, never old, through your younger years, ever consider doing anything else other than sing?
No. A short no.
No.
I always knew what I wanted to do, and that was sing. And so I've just built a career around that. But I got my fingers in many pies, and I think you got to do that in the music industry, especially to make a living at the level that I work at. I write music, I run a music school. I also co-write with other people. I help develop other young artists. I run my own events, and I gig, and I have a band. And so it's sort of like three businesses in one. There's, the original artist, there's the music school, and then there's the gigging, live performance out there with the band, or working solo as well. So yeah, it's
when do you sleep?
Exactly. I'm a single mum of two.
So you need a Kate. You're a superwoman.
You know me, and I've got a really cool support network around me. I've built a beautiful little community where I live, and and my family's wonderful. We're really close, and so that all helps, I suppose. That all helps. And I think you'll be highly organised. You know what it's like. You got to be highly organised. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I'm not sure that's me, but so I'll just have to rub on you a little bit and go, you'll organise me a bit more. Now, you said that you run a music school, and it's one of my favourite shows. Like, I'm not a big reality TV show watcher, but The Voice starts on Sunday, which I'm like going, thank you, because it's my birthday and it's on and I get to sit there and indulge. Do you find that after shows like that, the X Factor, Australia's Got Talent, all of those shows, that there's this increase of people who want to learn how to sing?
Yeah, once it starts airing, people are like, I want to do that. So Yeah, and we've had people who come to us specifically just to audition, and that's one of the workshops that I provide is audition technique. And yeah, obviously I've done those sort of shows myself, so you kind of know what to expect, and you can impart that knowledge, and so they're not scared out of their wits when they walk in the room and make a really good impression. But I mean, every year I get approached by shows like Australia's Got Talent and things like that to see if there's any talent that we have at the school that would like to audition. Yeah, so I've had students go on the X Factor, and a couple have gone on The Voice as well, that they've tried out for it anyway, auditioned for it. So yeah, it's nice. It's nice to be part of that process.
Oh, that's cool. You said that you're on a reality TV show. That was Pop Stars, wasn't it? Way back.
It was the first reality TV show when the public actually did all the voting. There was no judges as such. They were more like hosting it and then getting public votes, which was really cool. Yeah. So
do you think those types of shows, you know, like there's been a lot of well-known people in the music industry. The first one that comes to mind is like Dave Grohl, who are very negative about those singing shows and thinks that it's ruining the music industry. Do you think that, or is it a really great way to discover new talent?
It's you either love it or you hate it. Hey, but I mean, there's positives and negatives to it. I know in the beginning we had Young Talent Time. That was the only way to sort of get discovered. And you know, I think when Pop Stars came through, it was, not to be biased, I really think it was one of the best. Now we're starting to see people who have already got a little bit of celebrity or a little bit of a name for themselves being auditioning on these shows. So it's kind of, these shows now are being not just about discovering new talent. They're actually about trying to give whoever's got a good platform or a good following even a larger following. So they're using professionals to go and audition rather than discovering people from scratch. So there's a lot of agencies out there that actually get approached to put on quite well-established talent. So I suppose for the larger audience, they are being discovered. You know, they're not huge stars, but I mean, look at Mahalia Barnes, for example. You know, she's a professional. She's out there doing it with her dad all the time, and you know. But is that the same as a Susan Boyle who was discovered? You know, so and we're talking about The Voice, but I mean, we're just talking about reality shows in general. I think it's good for both. It's good for both, but I would like to see more of a platform for discovering people that aren't known. You know what I mean? Who don't have that platform or that opportunity to get out there as much as, say, Mahalia Barnes would. You know.
Do you think it's harder to get discovered now? I mean, like, there's so many ways. I mean, like, I just Googled you before the interview, and just to see where, you know, you're on Google Play, you're on YouTube, you've got a website. You know, there's a whole heap of stuff that showed up for you. So you would think that it'd be easy to be discovered, but is the market too cluttered? With, like, does everyone think they can be a singer, so therefore they are?
Yeah, look, I can only speak from my point of view. I think that mainstream artists, pop genre, adult contemporary genre, their only platform is these reality TV shows. There's no, think about it, what festival can you go to or be discovered by a larger audience in mainstream pop music?
No, well, they just cancelled FOMO. FOMO's in liquidation.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, you've got all those great festivals like Blues on Broadbeach and Woodford, and so you're looking at rockabilly, blues, you're looking at indie rock, but even heavy metal and things like that. There's festivals out there for that, but I can't. There's not really a platform other than reality TV or having a really good break where you are 14 and you get discovered by a great manager or an indie label. It's definitely more difficult. And yes, and I think everybody out there is trying to, you know, be a star and get themselves out there, and that's wonderful. But there's so many people who just do it as a hobby, and yeah, it can be cluttered, I suppose.
It can be.
But then
yeah.
you have more opportunities with the internet too, and even ISO, we've had more opportunity to get out there. So, yeah, I don't know. There's pluses and minuses to everything, isn't there?
Yeah, of course. Like I restrain from sharing my talent with everybody during isolation because I don't think anybody's ready for that. So
I think I've actually had the pleasure of hearing you hit a few notes.
yeah, well, give me a few drinks. Oh no, I sing all the time. So if someone came to you at that, so and here's Annette, she's like, going, I love a good sing, and I came to you. What's one of the first things that you would do with a student to, I don't know, ease them into? Because let's go back. Do you believe everyone can sing?
No.
No. Okay. There you go. Anyone auditioning for any show, if your mum's telling you you're good, then you probably should go the other way.
But I do believe that singing is great for your mental health. Singing is great for your confidence. And even if you're not the best singer in the world, I've got students, some of them, their tone's not great, their pitching's not great, but they get such pleasure out of being in the room, getting some feedback on what they're doing, and they're really interested in the technique side of it as well. And it's interesting to watch them grow. You can improve a voice for sure, but can everyone sing at that level? I don't know.
Yes. So you won't be inviting me to be a backup singer anytime soon.
But in answering your question about what I do, the main thing for me is giving that student what they need out of the lesson. So everyone's different, obviously, and everyone's at different skill levels. So I initially, warm the voice up straight away and get to know what they're trying to get out of the classes, and then delve right into giving them some feedback, positive and negative, constructive criticism, how I can help them improve, because that's how you keep the students' interest, and that's how you build their confidence in what they're doing as well.
Oh, okay, give me a warm-up exercise. Let's give this a quick, because, I'm prepared to put myself out there.
You are? All right, great.
Yep.
So one of my favourites ones is called Sirens, and it really does sound like a siren. And I like to do it with my mouth open, and I always get a nice smile going because that lifts the upper palate. And just keeping your tongue behind your teeth like that, just gently resting your tongue, not pushing it out, just gently resting it. And you start at your lowest note and just come up to your highest note. And everyone is different, and you just do it very gently on an NG sound. Right, and don't let it crack at the top though.
No cracking.
If you can imagine your vocal folds are like cobwebs, and they're just gently like warming up like this, right? And you don't want to be banging them together. You want to just be warming them up. It's a nice little warm up.
I'm a bit of a banger. Okay, so I'll give it another go. So it's
and then drop back down again. Good. And then what I would get into next would be getting the breath control underneath that. And
breathing's probably good.
Now, we do online lessons, but I like to get my students in at least for the first lesson to touch and feel and get into being able to get the breath into the body as well. So now I could stand up and show you that. Oh, that's a lovely look. I'll show you what I do with my breathing. And obviously, if you've done that in person first, it makes it a little bit easier to sort of cut through online when you're doing Skype lessons, because we work through Skype.
Oh, that's really cool. Sorry, everybody, if I hurt your ears.
Well.
I gave it a good go. It was like I'm sitting there going, oh, my God.
From the top to the bottom. One more.
Sorry, one more, okay.
From the top.
Take a breath. From the top. I've got to do that sound, though.
And try and keep your mouth open. Don't be, you don't want that. Try and keep your mouth open. Very good. And instead of thinking down, let's try thinking up. It's a thought process, yeah?
Oh, my God. Okay. I think I need some lessons. Someone said hi, Jodie, and I can't see who
No,
it
I
is.
can't see who they are. I think with
Yeah,
StreamYard, you've actually got to give them permission so we
you've
can
got to
see.
give permission. Yeah, absolutely, so we can see you. So, like, you've been singing a long time. Who are your influences? Like, who lights you up when you sit down to write a song or, you know, communicate how you're feeling with your audience?
I've got obviously some great singers that I adore, like, you know, Whitney Houston, Alicia Keys, Leona Lewis. I love Amy Winehouse. I love Etta James. So all of those artists, I love singing their music, and I obviously write a lot of big ballads. That's kind of my thing. And yeah, but I love all kinds of music. Um, and I definitely, obviously, would probably lean toward your more, you know, bigger voices, soul kind of blues. So I love blues. I love all kinds of music. And I love opera, obviously. I love classical music as well. So it just depends what mood I'm in to what comes
Yeah,
out.
I like that. I know when I've been to see you that the songs that you sing are so eclectic that, you know, one minute you're doing Uptown Funk and
Yeah.
then you're doing something like really bluesy or jazzy, and it's like, oh my God, what can't this woman do? I think the first time I saw you, it was at the Regatta Hotel in Brisbane, and
Oh,
Mel took me along and she said, come on, come and hear my friend sing. And it was like, I fell in love with you. You were just so enigmatic on the stage. This is like not blow the skirt up Jodie Joy's bum here, but it was like, if you get the chance when we're allowed to go see live music again to go and see Jodie, then I highly recommend it. You'll walk out with a big smile on your face and go, that was well worth the night out. So
I really
how,
appreciate
like,
it.
I've listened to a lot of you. You're on my Spotify list, so I'm beginning to sound like a stalker. But you've
Walk away.
got some great singles. One came out last year, Free Ride, and I was going to open with saying I'm going to get you to work for your money today because I really love that line, and Love Hate. How important is it for us to and Love Hate has got a really strong domestic violence message through it. How important is it to have these songs that have deep, important messages to them? Like, do you see that as your responsibility?
Yeah, I do. I love singing other people's music, and that's what it's about, isn't it? It's got a strong message, and it cuts to your heart, and you can relate to it. So what I try and do is share my life and share my thoughts. And as you said, Love Hate has a really strong message. It's to raise money for domestic violence, and I think when we're all sitting in isolation, we know that crime rates are going through the roof, and domestic violence apparently has increased as well. So I really felt like it was my responsibility to write a song that can raise money for that cause. And I'm quite passionate about that. And I give of my time to all domestic violence charities, events and things like that, and go along and speak or perform or however I can help. And so all the song proceeds from that song go towards domestic violence. And then, you know, Free Ride is all about empowering women and being an independent, strong woman, and, you know, working for your money. And that had a night, you know, that's just how I live my life. And so I suppose that's just, it came out in my music, you know. So I don't write everything about my life and my stuff, but I get on certain topics sometimes and you get passionate about it. So why not write a song?
Absolutely. And it's a great film clip. It's like just so much fun and so chilled and cool, and love the background dancers that you've got.
Yeah.
I recognise them. They look fantastic.
And that's what it was about, all of us, you know, just jumping around in a paddock, having a great time as women, you know. And one of the ladies in the video clip actually is a really strong woman herself, and Melanie, and she's a life coach, I suppose, a healer, and a lovely woman, and she just jumped on in there and went for it, So, and she's never had any experience doing anything like that. So yeah, hats off to Mel.
That was fantastic. Oh, look, we should do a Jodie Joy TikTok song.
Oh,
So
wow.
you may or may not have seen that Obsessed with Hub has got a TikTok account, and Hayley and Nat and Brittany are very prolific. I'm a bit more like, okay. But I think that we should do that. Absolutely. That's on the cards. We'll do that next week to immortalise you on TikTok.
Well, I will send you one. I found some friends of mine who actually did that already to one of my songs. I'll send that along to you. It's a little raunchy though, so I'll let you screen it first.
Okay. Well, we can be raunchy.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, out of all the songs that you've written, what's your favourite one? Like when you sing it, you just go, "Oh my God, I can't believe I wrote this. How awesome am I?"
Oh, look, it'd probably be Little Beauty, because I wrote that song about my daughter just as she was born. So, I love singing it. It touches me every time I sing it. I mean, how could it not? It's about my daughter. So she's 7 now, but yeah, I wrote that some years back. That's on my EP. So I'd say Little Beauty for sure.
Oh, nice. Can you give us a few lines out of it?
Oh, sure. All right.
No pressure.
No pressure. Little beauty, so serene, more beautiful than the rarest flower. Peace on earth falls over me. I find myself staring for hours.
Oh, so beautiful.
It's on my website, jodiejoy.com.au. Yeah. There,
go check. You're everywhere. You're everywhere. So what's next for you? I mean, like, you've got the music school, so I think I probably should sign up for classes.
I would love to.
I have talked to you about that before, and I would, out of maybe not fear, but probably like, should I, shouldn't I?
I really think you should try it. Just one. I have a 99% hit rate. I make it fun. I really make it fun, and it's all about you. So people, you know what? I reckon I'm like more like a counsellor as well. So well, come because it's like a counselling session as well. It really is.
Well, what's that? Music soothes the savage beast.
Yeah.
It has such an amazing ability to unite us and to enlighten us and to inspire us and to move emotions that, like, I know that when I see someone with your talent, that there's a bit of envy there, because to be able to, connect with people, not just through words, but through your voice is like, I just think you're I know whether you're not lucky, but just amazing.
Yeah. And that comes in the lessons as well. Like, you go, oh, I'd love to be able to make that sound, and it's so great when you get them over the edge and they actually make that sound themselves. You go, wow, I didn't realize I could hit that note, or that I could make that tone that makes my heart warm, So that's kind of cool when you reach that pinnacle for that person. They go, I didn't even know I could do that. So that's what would happen for you, Annette, because you've got this great personality that it would shine out in your voice for sure. So I can make some noise, girl. Yeah.
All right, let's do that, and then maybe I can sing a song on Obsessed With, and
why not?
And share the love with everybody.
And then you can do the TikTok on free ride. What about that?
Yeah.
Now
you could be my backing singer.
Sure, for sure.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so you heard it here first, people. I'm not setting a date just yet, but it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
So I was asking you, what's next? Have you got an album coming out or a new single?
I do. I've got a couple in the pipeline at the moment. So, and I'm also putting together another event to help other artists and some of my students so that they get to perform, because I don't know if you know, as we were saying earlier, there's not a lot of festivals or events around where mainstream artists in my genre can perform unless, you know, you're Britney Spears or something like that. So to try and give those artists, the local artists on the Gold Coast, seeing a bit of a leg up in that genre, I'm putting together an event. I won't say too much yet, but I'm trying to work in with some people to put an event together, giving more opportunity to artists in that genre. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we'll have Rika there. She can be our groupie. So there, I've got my first groupie. All I've done is done a warm up, and Rika's on my side.
You're going to have to do this now.
I know. Oh, well, when I say I'll do something, I'll do it.
That's
it. I promise people. So with this coronavirus thing, I love how Australians refer to it as this coronavirus thing, like it's something that was next to toilet paper in the supermarket. How does the Australian music industry recover? Like, because their, you know, events have been cancelled. Like I just said, the FOMO festival's gone into liquidation. Like it's really hurting live art, not just music, but any performance. So how do people, the people out there, how do we help the music industry to revive once we're able to go to live gigs again, besides going to live gigs?
Well, besides going to live gigs, when you're there buying their merch, I mean, I've got a lot of, you know, friends that come along and supporters that come along to my show, and they're there and they're supporting you, but they don't realize that you buy an album or you go online and you follow me on Spotify and you play my songs, you know, that all helps. But yeah, definitely buying merch really helps, merchandise, and you know, getting the physical copies of the CDs signed or T-shirts and things like that, that really goes a long way. And, you know, at this time, people are asking for, I suppose, donations. Our industry has been slammed, absolutely slammed. It's devastating. I mean, it's devastating for everybody, but I feel like, you know, as entertainers, we stepped up, right? And we did the concerts for the fires and things like that, but then we're the last to sort of be looked at for assistance when it comes to the coronavirus. So, you know, and when I say assistance, you know, government assistance and things like that, there's some grants coming out now. I saw one just the other day on APRA. So, you know, it's starting to happen, but yeah, we're sort of put ourselves on the line, raised funds for the fires and things, and then, you know, our industry got left last when it came to this epidemic. So, yeah, I think if I can encourage people, please don't just make a comment on someone's page or like it. Follow their music. Go buy some merch, you know, because it really does. It means a lot. And I've even got friends that say, "Oh, I really want to support you. Really want to support you," and they'll like your comment, or but they don't realize how important it is to actually follow that link through. Go to Spotify, go to Google Play, download a song, just download it actually instead of streaming it, because the artist gets paid from the downloads. Yes, we get paid from streams as well, but downloading the music and getting the physical copies as well goes a hell of a better way for an artist anyway. Yeah.
It put a real kibosh in the industry, didn't it? This downloading streaming ability that we have, because I think people, and I know that I used to just take it for granted that artist has been paid by someone else. But with so many independent artists now, not everyone's picked up by a record company, that they still need to earn a living. And it's not just something that you do and waving your hands. It is your lifeblood. It's your profession.
Yeah, it's a business. You know, I'm running a business. And you can't, for example, you know, you say I'm everywhere. I've gone out and digitally distributed myself out there, and it's a constant upkeep of trying to, because I don't have a record label behind me. You know, marketing yourself, and it takes you away sometimes from honing your craft and doing what you love best and making the music. So it's a fine balance. And there's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes. And you think, oh, I'll go to Spotify and I'll stream that song instead of downloading it from iTunes or something like that, the artist is not getting paid. And especially the little guy like me, you know, I'm not getting as much as Taylor Swift because I don't have millions and millions of people streaming my song. So a download is a lot better. And also, unless you have a paid Spotify account, for example, you will get paid a little bit more. People don't realize that sort of thing. So if you've got a free account, that artist isn't getting paid as much. There's all sorts of algorithms and stuff going on behind the scenes that people just don't realize. I think it's like, you know, you get like 2 cents a stream or something like that. So yeah,
That's mental.
so unless you got millions doing it, how are you supposed to make money? Do you know what I mean?
Well,
So
who's making the money?
Live performance is so important for us as artists, you know, and you guys coming along to the shows and building your fan base, getting people to come along to your shows and buy your merchandise and things like that. It's huge. So you think, oh, it's just a $20 album, big deal, you know, that helps so much. So much.
I think we forget, like I know when people are like going, oh, that's really expensive, that they forget the time, the effort, the skill, the commitment, the sacrifice that goes into creating anything, whether you're a singer or a dancer or an author or whatever. And we've become very flippant with the way that we honour those people who are just as integral to our well-being as well, maybe not a doctor, like, because neither of us are going to be doing heart surgery anytime soon. I have watched Grey's Anatomy. I could give it a crack. But we are really flippant with how we value creative people. And yet when you look back through history, so many of our great steps forward have come from those creative sorts.
That's right. And how many times are you stirred by a beautiful song that comes on the radio, or, you know what I mean? It's, it's interesting how some people, but then, you know, on the other side of the coin, there are so many beautiful people out there that you get support from. Like, I've been doing a few live stream shows like this, and I get messages afterwards where people are saying, wow, your music really touched me. And that's been so lovely. So, you know, that we can be flippant. Yes, we can. But I try and make a platform and try and change that for my students and other artists that are in my same position that are not famous, you know, and try and make a platform for that. So, yeah, I'm really passionate about that, helping other people.
Well, Jodie Joy, it is a pleasure as always to talk to you. And if you're tuned in or you're watching this, please go check her out. Where can we check you out? So you've got Multiplay Music Centre, which is .com.au. So follow my journey of learning how to sing.
Subscribe to the page. You'll get tips and tricks of, you know, singing techniques and things like that, and keep you in touch with what we're doing. And come along, try a singing lesson. We're doing online lessons as well. And then, yeah, my music's on Spotify. You can check that out.
Excellent. Jodie, thank you for joining me today. Everyone, we'll see you next time.
And just before you go, I really like to thank you guys for having me on. I think this is just such an awesome group, and I couldn't, you know, I feel really honoured to be a part of this. And you guys are really making some change out there, and you're talking about some really raw topics and giving lots of people like myself a platform to reach out to a different audience. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Well, it's a group effort. We're all doing it together, and you can start a platform, but you need people to follow and you need people to engage. You know, whether you're a music artist or whatever it is that you're doing. And if it wasn't for people like you, then it would just not be as beautiful as it is. So we thank you as well.
Oh, no worries with it. And I'm going to hold you to that singing lesson, all right?
Okay. All right. Okay. You heard it here, everyone. It's now been live broadcast. It's going on YouTube and a website, so I can't get out of it. Thank you.
Guys. See you all later.